Hello, world. What's up, everyone? This is Dave.
And the Professor, John Radford.
Here we go. Fight breakdown. Probably one of our favorite things to do with Fight Bananas.
Oh, it's my favorite thing.
We've done 2 of them.
2 so far, yes.
Silva, Stylebender.
Yes.
And we've done Francis, Kane.
Yes.
I'm undefeated. Because I think I was on an island on the Francis one.
You were on an island on the Francis one, yes. I remember picking, I definitely remember picking Kane on that one, but he got slept.
He did. I think I won a ton of money. Like, I think you're paying me interest, and it's building daily.
Yeah, I think I owe you like $1.07 now after all of that.
I know. That's crazy. $1.07.
$1.07. It's racking up every day.
It is. But okay, this fight breakdown, there's so many great fights in the next 6 weeks. I just had a crazy good podcast about June. Bellator, PFL, Dean Tool Promotions one. We'll definitely get into all that.
BKFC.
Oh, there you go. In Tampa. But this one, the one we picked and the one that we're super, super excited about. Tony Ferguson versus Donald Cerrone. I call this 238, UFC 238. It added the juice.
Oh, it definitely added the juice. It added a war between 2 well-known, fighters and 2 guys that bring the heat every time they step in the octagon. I personally think the fight is more dangerous for Donald Cerrone than it is for Tony Ferguson.
Okay.
And in my opinion on that, it's not because of who Tony Ferguson is. I mean, he's just dangerous to begin with. We've seen many, many scraps with him, and he's, he hasn't really lost a fight in, what is it? How many fights right now? He's on close to a double-digit win streak, right?
I think it's up there. It's 9 or 10.
I think it's something like that as well.
And in the best weight class in the world.
155.
Yeah, I think it is.
Now, Cerrone's made runs at the title 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think he had 1 title shot, or he was the title eliminator against Rafael dos Santos. He's made runs. He's made plenty of runs. This is another run that he's made.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know that taking Tony, when Tony's coming back motivated, he wants to be right back in the title picture. He doesn't want, Dustin to be in the title picture. He doesn't want Khabib. He wants either one of them, but
sure,
he wants to be that next guy. You
sure.
know what I mean? And it's a better fight for Tony to take than it is with Cerrone than it is for Tony to take a fight with Justin Gaethje, who's right there at the door knocking. Your boy, Justin, Mr. Violence himself, Gaethje. The highlight of violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
wait! I just thought of a really good new nickname for Justin Gaethje.
So am I?
That's great.
With Donald Cerrone being the guy who he is, and he's a striker. He just beat up Ally Quinton. Ally Quinton's on record saying he beat the shit out of me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think it's a worse. When I say worse, I think it's more of a dangerous fight, more of a risk for Cowboy at his age, at the way he's been fighting, the battles he's had recently, and everything like that. He loves fighting all the time. I just think it's more dangerous for him. I think it's a great fight for Tony. Even though Cowboy's super dangerous as well, sure. I think it's better for Tony.
Okay. That was a pretty good spiel to kind of start it off. I have like 4 different angles I want to go with it. But you haven't mentioned maybe the most important part of this whole fight. That it's not Cowboy Cerrone to me. I don't know who you're talking about. I think his name is Donald, his first name. But his nickname to me now is Dad Cerrone. Undefeated since being a father. He is
true.
It's
got the dad power.
It's a fact. Like I'm
without the dad bod.
Well, he's getting there.
He's still at 155. He's not at 170.
I know. But Dad Cerrone's undefeated. And one thing that people are not given enough credit, that this is the angle I want to take it to first, and I want your take on it. And then we'll give our predictions at the end. Let's have fun with it. Everyone thinks this is going to be a 15-minute stand-up war. Right, like everyone I talk to, everyone in the business, other fighters. I just saw Mike Perry a couple days ago at Fusion XL Performance Center helping Mr. Alex Nicholson get ready for PFL. Everyone thought that was going to be a 15-minute war. 2 minutes into the fight, Cowboy Cerrone got Mike Perry on the ground, submission. I don't think people are talking enough, and I even give this not even just to Dad Cerrone. I want to talk about even Tony on the ground. Either way, this can be a submission ending of this fight that no one's talking about.
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
Tony's
with that then.
Oh, I'm 100% down. But there's the problem though. That's still a war on the ground.
Oh, for sure.
That's a chess match, just like the striking would be.
Sure.
Again, you get Tony on the ground. Tony is a wizard with just throwing up quick submissions, scrambles. Taking advantage in that randomness of the scramble.
Yeah,
he's very good at that. He takes advantage of small things. He's explosive with his 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Eddie Bravo even says you show him one thing, next thing you know he's trying it literally right then in the next the rounds that he does. You teach him something, he's going after it. He's aggressive. Donald's the same way with his game. I don't know that Donald has an actual belt. I think he does. I don't know why I'm saying that. But for a long time you would have never even mentioned his belt. You always talked about his striking, but he's phenomenal on the ground, as you said, mentioned with the Mike Perry fight and everything like that. He's very good. But is he Tony Ferguson good? Is he that dynamic of that dude? Or is it more, I've knocked you down, I took you down, and now I can get to the position I want after I've hurt you? Yes. Tony is one of those guys, you take me down, beat on me, I'm throwing up something crazy, and now I got you in a darce, or I got you in a triangle, and we're rolling.
Yeah. And to answer that, I think Donald could, of course, leg kick, a leg kick to the body, to just kind of mess with Tony just for a second. Tony hasn't been in the octagon in 18 months, 15 months. So to kind of, right off the bat, minute and a half into this fight, kind of knock Tony Ferguson down, get him just, off the kilter a little bit, and then go for the submission game, go for the work on the ground. And Tony will try to do something, you said, outrageous, do something thrilling to get out of it. But
he'll roll for a leg, something crazy.
It's something crazy, but even with that, what I'm talking about is like Tony could do that and then get caught by the simplest, just a rear naked choke right into an armbar from Cowboy. Like, again,
it's absolutely
to be aggressive.
Absolutely, Cowboy's very well versed. He understands, the different, stoppages when it comes to guys rolling creatively and everything like that, being essentially random. When you saw whenever Tony gets hurt, if he has to front roll out of it, 2 or 3 times. You saw it in the Anthony Pettis fight. He was trying to get away.
Yes.
He will do anything to get a scramble to make something happen. With that, Donald, like I said, Donald's very well versed on the ground, so he could stop that, could catch him in something just like you said. Again, I don't know. It's a great matchup. I think personally, it favors Tony Ferguson in the paper.
Okay.
If we're looking, when you like different sports, different analogies.
Yeah.
You look on paper. You look at Warriors versus the Raptors. The paper leads to the Warriors. The Warriors. It leads to the Warriors.
Minus 280 favorite in Vegas.
Absolutely right. So it leads to the Warriors, but there's an X factor.
Sure.
Kawhi is that man.
Yeah.
Kawhi is that dude. He's that guy.
He is.
So what I'm saying is Tony Ferguson's that guy when it comes to weird stuff. When it comes to stuff in an MMA game where he can do something different. Donald Cerrone is a very well-rounded, very awesome mixed martial artist. His explosiveness is on the feet. His creativity is on the feet. His well-rounded ground game is on the bottom, but it's more functional. It's not super dynamic, in my opinion.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to knock Donald Cerrone. We know he's great on the ground. We've seen it.
Yeah.
But it's more technical, in my opinion. I think the more flashy ground game, the more explosiveness, the more risky ground game and aggressive is in Tony.
100% agree. Great point. That's why they call you the professor. That's a great point. Here's another avenue that people aren't talking about this fight, and this is why I like the fight breakdowns that we do at Fight Bananas here. This is a 15-minute fight, a 3-round fight.
It's not 5.
Exactly.
It should be a 5 because this is a great fight.
The last 4-5 Tony Ferguson fights, they've been 5-round, and I think Cowboys had 6 5-round fights, title fights, main event fights. He's a 5-rounder. He usually goes 5. Does that, game planning, does that go into a strategy? It's like, hey guys, we got to win the first, because I know either fighter, you don't want to go down 0-1 to Tony, you don't want to go down 0-1 to Dad Cerrone, and Cerrone can pick apart just doing leg kicks in the third.
I bring it back to the Tony Ferguson Anthony Pettis fight. Anthony Pettis hurts Tony Ferguson in there, hurts him badly, starts beating on him, everything like that. Tony rolls out, does all these crazy things. And then just his cardio kicks back in. He gets his wits about him, and he just goes again. I don't think it matters with a guy like Tony. And if Cowboy's in shape, I don't think it matters with a guy like Cowboy. He went rounds. He went 5 rounds, and he can go 3 if he needs to. If that means he's just going to push harder in those 3 to get it done, he's going to do that. If Tony has to push harder in those 3 to get it done, I think they will. I think they're 2 fighters. It's a great point, but I think there's 2 fighters that understand pace.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
When you get to that level, you understand pace.
Sure.
Your pace can be a little bit faster in 3 minutes because you don't need the 4th and 5th round, or not 3-minute rounds in 3 rounds. You have pace in a 5-round fight, and especially when you know a guy standing across from you is not going away early.
Oh,
unless
100%.
You catch him perfect.
Oh, yeah. And either one, I don't see it ending in that first minute or 2. And then here's my probably third last point out of left field. 15 months, 18 months layoff for Tony. Cowboy Cerrone fought 3 Saturdays ago. He fought Ray Janelle, 5-round war. I'm sorry. Dad Cerrone dominated 90%, 85% of the fight. It was a great showing for Cerrone. But you were in a 25-minute fight with Ray Janelle.
And that man doesn't go away easy.
Yeah, that man doesn't go away. He's thrown at all times. The pressure, the stress that you put on your body for that long to fight on this 5-week quick turnaround, does that do something to Cowboy, or is he just in this great stride?
With a top 3 in the world.
You're right.
With a top 3 in the world. You're going 3 weeks back to back, real quick, whatever it is, 4 weeks, back to back with a top 3. Yeah. Al, we love you, Al. We love your fight game. We love it. But you're not top 3, bro. Yeah. You're top 10. You're top 8. You're top 5.
And Cowboy didn't come in on a mess up like an injury fight, and it's like, oh, he stepped up and wow, he's fighting the 12th guy. I can't even think of a name right now. Paul Felder.
Yeah, okay. Number 9, number 8,
yeah,
something like
like
that.
awesome
But he's not fighting him though.
Yeah, exactly. He's
fighting number 3, number 2.
Tony Ferguson, a man who hasn't lost, a man that never lost the title, the man that destroyed Kevin Lee. Like, this is crazy. Like,
to this day, we think a lot of people think he's the only one that has a chance to dethrone Khabib.
Yeah.
Because of his style, because it's crazy.
Wow.
Right. So he's fighting this guy on 4 weeks notice, 3 weeks, or whatever it may be. But you're fighting a top 3 guy in the world, and it's just a dangerous fight. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He had things happen to him. This man is ready to come. Don't get me wrong. Dad Cerrone's ready to ball too, and he's ready to come all day long.
Tuesday night he's ready.
He's got a whole nother inspiration behind him.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You're a father. Yeah. He's got a whole nother inspiration behind your grind gets harder, your motivation gets better, right?
Yeah.
We see you work every day, Dave. Hey, we see how you do it. But it's the same thing though. This man has another motivation. He has to get back to the top. I haven't lost. I need that title. That title's mine. I never lost that title. They took it from me. I want it back.
Yeah. Wow.
Dangerous man.
Okay, so we're getting to this point. We did break it down a couple different ways with a prediction. And we can even talk about what you see will happen with the prediction of the winner or loser, and how and why and when. So let's kind of get into it at the end. I'll go first. Dad Cerrone's been undefeated since becoming a father. I love him. A legend in the sport. An all-timer. Hall of Famer. He can be the greatest UFC fighter ever to not be champion. But Tony Ferguson's on another level, guys. I'm sorry. No slight at all to Cowboy. On a 5-week notice against Tony Ferguson, who's just another level. And I love how you said it. Guys, he wants Khabib. He wants the Conor title fight. He wants the Dustin title fight. If Dustin beats Khabib, let's not call that out yet. Tony is out. His mission is just gold. Like, I feel like Cowboy Cerrone is just
period.
Yeah. It's like, he wants to put up a good fight, and he wants to fight a lot, and he wants to drink Budweisers, and he wants to be a good dad, and he wants to win, and he wants another title shot. No, Tony's like, I want to end him, and I want my championship match now.
I think that's how he's looking at it. He had that Anthony Pettis fight that proved that he was in the realm again, mix, all that great fight, came back from a long way off. Then he had another setback for a half a second.
Yep.
And now he's like, I'm done. I think you're exactly right with it. He wants gold.
Tony Ferguson, 2nd round TKO, probably around 7-8 minutes into the fight. So midway in the 2nd round, Tony Ferguson TKO.
Yeah.
Stand up. I think he hits him a couple different times, and Dad Cerrone doesn't like it. Maybe a liver shot, a body shot, goes down. Tony, ground and pound, referee stops.
Okay. I'm going a little different route. I do not argue anything you just said right there, sir. And I'm actually going to pick your same round. Ooh. I'm going with your same fighter because I love going against you, Dave. I really do. But I just don't see it. I can't in my brain, the way it works, logical, with the math background I have, everything like that, I can't see how this comes out any other way.
Yeah.
I know it's MMA, and you don't doubt a fighter, you don't do that, but this to me, on paper, is, if I'm a betting man, you just put the money on Tony, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just one of those things I think happens. If Dad Cerrone comes out and does it, man, more power to him. I hope he gets his title shot after that.
Oh, of course.
For beating Tony, right?
Yeah.
But second round.
Okay.
Late second round, not mid.
Okay.
Late second round or early third, but I think late second, I'm going with a submission.
Ooh, I like it.
I think he knocks him down, like you said, hurt him, either takes the back or slides in real close, gets a guillotine and just sits on it. You know what I mean? And sits him against the fence when, he slumped him with something or hurt him. But, I think what Donald needs to do, and I think we'll play into it, is if he can get those legs kick-started early and often, and he can slow the footwork down to Tony, it'll help a lot. But I got Tony ending this by way of submission, late second, early third.
Wow. That's it. I love that, guys. That was a fight breakdown. I love it. It's all in. Dad Cerrone, Tony Ferguson. We go all in. 155-pound division, UFC 238, Chicago, Illinois. We both have Tony Ferguson winning the fight. Second round, second/third round, submission, TKO, right in that window. We'll see if we're right. We'll see if you guys agree, disagree. We'd love to hear from you. You'll see this on fightbananas.com. The podcast will be out on all podcast platforms. Tell a friend, tell neighbors. Check out the YouTube page, Twitter page, Facebook page, Instagram page. Go to Walmart, Target. I don't know. We're everywhere.
Hold a sign up, fightbananas.com, wherever you're at, and you can't go wrong with that.
Yep, fightbananas.com. A lot of big things coming your way, guys. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. All right.